Hello, today I'm looking at Majjhima Nikaya number 9, the Sammaditthi Sutta. Excuse me. Sammaditthi is explained as being right view, so it's a talk about right view. It's given by one of Buddha's followers, Sariputta, and basically it's almost it's quite a long sutta, so it took quite a long time to follow it through, and it takes the premise of being asked by other followers of Buddha what is right view. And I mean, right view is explained as being excuse me, an unwavering confidence in the Dhamma. But the question is asked, in what way is a follower of right view? And Sariputta uses the question, which is repeated several times, to step through some of the basic concepts of Buddhism. So he starts off with saying that a person who understands the difference, the wholesome and the unwholesome, and the origin, is a person of a right view. And in each of the sections of what makes a person understand right view, he explains the terms used. So, for example, with the wholesome, he defines as being excuse me, a person who is wholesome understands the precepts plus generosity and goodwill, and also explains the what is unwholesome, which is the opposite of that, and the origin or underlying cause of unwholesomeness, which is greed, hatred and delusion, the three defilements. And saying when this wholesome concept is understood, the follower abandons a tendency to lust, aversion and the conceit of I am, which leads to an end of discontent and holds a right view. So in explaining that, the Sariputta is then asked again by the followers, is there another way to be of right view? And the next way to be of right view, he explains, is to understand nutriment, its origin and sensation. Defines nutriment as being food, contact, mental volition and consciousness, and that all these arise through craving. And the cessation of nutriment is to follow the Eightfold Path. This leads to the abandonment of the three defilements, greed, hatred and delusion. And then the next way to be of right view is to understand the Four Noble Truths. And then the next way of being of right view is to understand aging and death and its origin. And then to follow the way leading to the cessation is to follow the Eightfold Path. And then another way to be of right view is to understand being, its origin and cessation, and the way leading to its cessation. And in this one, Sariputta explains there are three types of being: the sense sphere being, dominated by sensual desire; the fine material being, which leads through to the four jhanas; and the immaterial being, The matter is non-existent and only mental processes that exist. Cessation of clinging leads to cessation of being. So again I asked, what's another way to understand or be of right view? Is to understand clinging. Its origin, cessation, and the way leading to its cessation. And he explains there's 4 kinds of clinging: sensual pleasure, clinging to views, clinging to rules and observances, and clinging to the doctrines of self. And with the cessation of craving, there is a cessation of clinging. And this can be achieved by the Eightfold Path. Another way which to be of right view, when the person understands craving and the way leading to its cessation of craving. And there are 6 classes of craving: for forms, sounds, odours, flavours, tangibles, mind objects. That is the 6 senses. Arising of feeling leads to the arising of craving. So the cessation of feeling leads to cessation of craving. And cessation of craving is through the Eightfold Path. Another way of arriving at right view is to understand feeling, its origin, cessation, and the way leading to cessation. And what is feeling? There are 6 classes of feeling. Feelings born through eye contact, ear, nose, etc. With the arising of contact, there is the arising of feeling. With the cessation of contact, there is cessation of feeling. And this again is via the Eightfold Path. When contact is understood, its origins, cessation, and ways leading to its cessation, there are 6 classes of contact: eye contact, ear contact, so on and so forth. With its cessation of that's the 6 classes of the 6-fold base. With its cessation, there is the end of contact, and the way to it is via the Eightfold Path. And how else to arrive at the right view? When the 6-fold base is understood, its origin, cessation, and way leading to its cessation. And the 6-fold base is eye, ear, nose, etc. With the arising of mentality, materiality, there arises the 6-fold base. So with the cessation of mentality, materiality is the cessation of a 6-fold base. And the way leading to cessation is through the Eightfold Path. So how else can right view be achieved is when mentality, materiality is understood, its origin, cessation, etc. Mentality is defined as feeling, perception, volition, contact, attention. And materiality is the 4 great elements, and the material form derived from the 4 elements. And the elements are obviously earth, water, wind, fire. And the cessation of consciousness leads to the cessation of mentality and materiality. And the way leading to cessation of mentality, materiality is through the Noble Eightfold Path. And how else can one follow right view? So when consciousness is understood, its origin, cessation, and the way leading to its cessation. And there are 6 classes of consciousness: ear consciousness, nose, eye consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind consciousness. And with the arising of formations, there is the arising of consciousness, and with the cessation of formations, there is the cessation of consciousness. And the way leading to the cessation of consciousness is through the Eightfold Path. Understanding the origins, cessation, and way leading to cessation leads to end of suffering. What else is a right view? So formations, understanding origin, cessation, and the way leading to cessation of formations is that one is a right view. There are three kinds of formations: the bodily formation, verbal formation, and mental formation. With the arising of ignorance, there's the arising of formations. Cessation of ignorance, there's the cessation of formations. The way leading to the cessation of formations is just through the Eightfold Path. And the right way, another way of understanding right view is understanding ignorance, its origin, cessation, the way leading to cessation. And ignorance is being ignorant of the Four Noble Truths. And this arises from the taints. And similarly for the taints, understanding the taints is a way to right view. The taint of sensual desire, taint of being, the taint of ignorance. And with the arising of ignorance, there's rising of taints. When the taints are understood and their sensation, the disciple abandons the underlying tendency to lust, aversion, and the view of I am. And by abandoning this makes an end of suffering. So, in summary, it's stepping through a lot of the Buddhist concepts, and when the concepts are understood, then this leads to right view. And the right view, I suppose, is summarised within the Eightfold Path. So just to step through in brief, what's covered off in this sutta is the concept of the Four Noble Truths, nutriments, wholesomeness and unwholesomeness. And it shows the sort of causal link or dependent origination, whatever phrase you'd like to take, that the taints lead to ignorance, lead to formations, lead to consciousness, lead to mentality, materiality, lead to the sixfold base, lead to contact, lead to feeling, lead to craving, lead to clinging, lead to being, leading to birth, leading to aging and death. So it's just going through the Buddhist concepts on these particular items and how to hold a right view with a description of each of these items. That is my summary of Majjhima Nikaya number 9, the Sammaditthi Sutta. Thanks for watching.